Well, good morning, everybody. Pulling up to the 580 here this morning, and yes, this is an anhydrous bar and anhydrous tanks here. And yes, we are putting on gas. So we started putting on gas yesterday. Kind of a big day, you know, first day of gas. You got a lot going on, so I'm getting this 580 here fired up this morning. This field that I was in last night, I've got a round and a through left, I think. No, maybe it's just a through and a half a through. Yeah, I can't remember. But anyway, I did run out of gas. That's why I just had a through left and hooked onto these tanks, and I thought, instead of just opening all these tanks up right now, just wait and do it in the morning. So this is a DMI 21 knife and anhydrous bar. And these are a small set of tanks. So on these small tanks, you can run about 30-35 acres on a small set. I'm gonna get these valves opened up here, make sure this is all closed. Yeah, so there's 3 sets of valves you gotta open. These hoses here come off the bar, so gotta open them up, open these here in front of the tanks, and then you gotta open the main tank ones. So we do have 2 bars running. The 470 is on a 19 knife bar. So I don't even know how many feet that is, 40 something, maybe 47 foot. This one's like 52 and a half. This is a 21 knife bar. So 2 bars, you can get a lot done. So this is my monitor here, my rate controller. I think on these newer 1200 monitors, you can actually run your rate controller like that one through the monitor, but we're going old school.
Restart slowly.
Come on, bar. It's a little slow this morning. We're gonna run her in 6th gear here this morning. Things are running a little bit slow, so I'm gonna keep our rate up. Got to run a little slower speed than normal. Yesterday, starting in, I was running about 8.5 mile an hour. Really keeping a good rate, so that's pretty nice when you can do that. So yeah, I do have a round left. A round and then half a through, and we've got a busted knife. See that? Busted knife here this morning. Didn't even go maybe 100 yards. So there's knife bolts on them knives, and they break if you hit a pretty hard spot. So yeah, I'm gonna go change that real quick. Yeah, so all I gotta do here, slide a new bolt through the bottom of that, and then she'll be good to go. Alrighty, well, we're working good now. There was an old railroad bay that ran through there, and last year that all got taken out, so a little bit of a hard spot there, and yeah, that'll break some knives, so, well, knife bolts, I guess, so hopefully buzz back by through there doesn't bust a bunch more. You can get a lot more done with this than a chisel plow. We're averaging about 50 acres an hour on this machine here, and the other one's probably running about 45, so we can get a lot done in a day. Okay, we're folding her up. Next field's right down the road, so headed it, and gonna go ahead and start trimming it out. So we had got this new display, a new 1200 display put in this 580 a couple days ago. And it's working great, so haven't had any problems with it. You know, beforehand it would just start going nuts. Run screens, flipping run screens, and you couldn't control the monitor. Touchscreen wouldn't work, so they put a new one in it, and we're working good. And we've got all of our guidance line swaths in here. We didn't have it in there before. We were having some hard times kind of transferring everything. So we've got it in here now, and I can use guidance on the inrows, which is pretty handy. We got a hitchhiker here. Come on in. What are they doing?
The guidance software glitches or something. I don't know. It's not staying online.
Just hooked onto
How's
these.
this thing going?
Good, I just hooked onto these tanks here. So Dad's ripping through a new waterway here. I'm still gassing here, I'm about done. But he's completely reshaping this waterway that was in this field. It was really getting pretty torn up and rough. And this one was grass. So what he's doing is he's shaving it all down, reshaping the whole waterway, and gonna make it so that we can farm through it, not have grass there. So he actually had an issue with his tractor, PTO switch wasn't working or something like that, and the guidance was screwing up. So he just got back and rolling. I just got a few more rounds to make here in this field, and I'll be done. Well, we've been rolling along here. I'm going to be changing tanks here in about 10 acres. So yeah, that's all I pretty much do is just roll back and forth. Got to pay attention to my rate here. I got it set on 195, so it always stays around 190, 198 area. So. And we checked it with some tanks. You know, you run the first set out, and they take them back to weigh them. You can see how much you're putting on, and monitor's pretty accurate. So yeah, I'm gonna be changing tanks here in about 10 acres, and yeah, really not much to it changing them. Just gotta be careful. You gotta shut all the valves, bleed everything off, and just undo the hoses. Put them on the bar, hook up to a new set. These big tanks, we can get about 50 to 52, 3 acres out of them. And the smaller ones that we get occasionally, I can only get like 30, 35 out. So the bigger ones are nice for sure. Alrighty, tanks are empty here. So all I gotta do, I'm gonna close all the valves here. There's 2 on the tanks, 2 here, and 2 right here. So close them up, then I gotta bleed the line here. Well, not the line, just gotta bleed whatever's in between this area, so I can take that off. So I've been hooking up to these side-by-side tanks, and now I got a set of inlines here, so a little bit different for the setup. On those side-by-side, you just wind the hoses up, and there's a little place to hang them. On these inlines, you got to drag the hose all the way back and hook them up to each individual tank, which I have no problem with. I'd actually rather have these two bigger inline tanks than two side-by-side small tanks, because I'd rather be able to do 50 acres or more than do just 30 on the set. So we're getting backed up here now. I'm gonna hook these up. I'm really in search for another bungee cord. So let's see what I can find. Yep, gonna steal one of these. That's too short. This will work. Alrighty, we are situated. Got to back up here and lock the hitch. There it is. And we're ready to go. Well, I was pretty lucky I had that other bungee cord. This is the first time I've hooked up to inline tanks this year. And I don't know, I guess I should have two bungee cords on that longer hose. But we got them taken care of. I had to hang the hoses up a different way since these are inlines. And we got it, so we're rolling. Explained what exactly I am doing. We're putting on anhydrous right now, so NH3, it's a source of nitrogen for the crop. for next year's corn crop. Hold on, I gotta turn. And so we do all fall applied nitrogen. We're putting on 195 pounds of actual N per acre. And so yeah, all of our nitrogen gets applied in the fall, and come springtime, we don't have to mess with it. Just roll in with a field cultivator, knock down the bean stubble, and go into plant. So it's pretty nice. A lot of people do all different kinds of stuff. You know, they do spring applied nitrogen with the bar like this. There's all different kinds of options you can do, and we've done this for years, so that's what we do on our farm, and we've liked it. So we're gassing away. We're about to finish up this field here, and Dad and I'll be headed to the next one. He's changing tanks over there right now, so fun stuff. Changing tanks is no fun. Putting on the gas is fine. You know, cutting a 52.5 foot wide swath here, rolling about 8.5. But then when you gotta change the tanks, you're like, oh, dragging around hoses, trying to stay safe. So other than that, it's a pretty good time. A pretty nice sunset out here. Not very often you get a last pass matchup when you got two bars that aren't the same size in one field, and I'm ending on the side where the road is, so that's pretty convenient. And we are shutting these things down tonight. It's 8 o'clock. Had a real good day. I'm putting on some gas, so shutting her down. I'm gonna fire her back up in the morning. Only got a couple of days left of this, I think. Everything goes good. Well, we're shutting them down, so that's going to be it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Click that sub button down below, give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you guys next time.